Now, the Republic of Ireland may not be going to Brazil 2014, but the international team and its affairs will always make the headlines. That's been the case in the aftermath of another defeat to Germany and in the build-up to tomorrow's final Group C qualifier. Well, time to catch up with the latest news from the squad, and our man at the coalface, as always, with the squad is Tony O'Donoghue, and he joins us now from the Aviva. Tony.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, the Kazakhstanis are training as we speak inside the Aviva Stadium, and this time tomorrow evening, well, the game will be underway. The Republic of Ireland's final game of what's been a disappointing World Cup qualifying campaign, you'd have to say. Last Friday, of course, defeat at the hands of Germany. No surprise there, I suppose. But earlier, before Ireland's training session, and indeed before the press conference, I sat down with caretaker Ireland boss Noel King and asked him, first of all, about his reflections on the Germany game, and in particular, the criticism that he's received.
Well, criticism is part and parcel of the game. There's so many options, there's so many ways of playing the game. Everybody has a view. What I was determined to do in this particular instance was that I'd play my own way, do my own system, do the things that I'm happy with, do the modern football that's happening in this international level, apply that. And that's what the players did. They applied a very, very strategic game, defended very well, and more importantly, counter-attacked brilliantly. They didn't get the credit for that. And I feel sad about that because they really worked hard. They were, as far as I'm concerned, they gave everything for Ireland, and that's the first starting point.
Tony, you're with the squad very often. Do you sense that what has gone on since that Germany game has been a bit of a distraction and is taken away somewhat from the final Group C qualifier?
Well, there's a nervous tension around the squad at the moment now. Maybe some of that has to do with the criticism. Maybe it's the fact that we're in that interim period. A number of names were mentioned today by Robbie Keane as potential new Ireland managers. He'd be happy to see Martin O'Neill or Mick McCarthy or Roy Keane in charge. But before that, there's the game against Kazakhstan. And remember, we didn't do very well in Astana a year ago. We were so lucky to come out of that one with a very narrow, late win. And so the Kazakhstanis have something to fight for as well. So they'll be looking for revenge tomorrow evening. But Noel King said we're going to play the same system, but because John O'Shea and Richard Dunn are back, because the captain Keane is fit again, and because the likes of Andy Reid, Wes Hoolahan and even Aidan McGeady will be looking for a place, there's going to be changes. So same system, different players, hopefully a different result from Friday in Cologne.
Yes, Tony, thanks very much. That's certainly what we're all hoping for. A good result for the Republic of Ireland in their final Group C qualifier tomorrow evening. It's a difficult period in a way, and it's a difficult task for Noel King. I mean, we are in limbo at the moment with the Republic of Ireland, aren't we? I mean, there's nothing to play for in this group. We've an interim manager. It must be difficult for the players to know. You know, have I a future in the squad? The more experienced players, those who may be coming towards the end of their career. What about new players who are knocking on the door? Are they going to get a chance under whoever's going to come in?
I don't know if people would describe it as a difficult situation. It's a disappointing situation to be in, to be without a manager, and more importantly that the campaign has ended the way it has. At the start of the campaign, you would have looked at these two games going, you know, these are, hopefully will be still in it, and a win would put us into the playoffs. So that's been disappointing. I don't think it's overly difficult. Noel King, the pressure's off him because Delaney has publicly said he's not going to get the job, so he's not going to be measured on that standard at all. I find it hard to get too excited about what Noel does or doesn't do because we know he's going to be gone in a matter of time. I agree with what he said in relation to no praise for the counter-attacking abilities of the team the other night against Germany. Surprisingly, they created many chances and disappointed not to score. I wouldn't have expected that at the start of the game. Everything else I would have expected. Germany to have the ball, for us to 5 men in midfield to mainly be there to defend. All of those things I would have expected.
Pat, do you think generally, prior to the Germany game, there was an attitude out there that was kind of, maybe the Republic of Ireland should go out now, have a gung-ho attitude, go all-out attack, take on this German side and get back to playing football and forget all the defensive policy that came out under the Trapattoni era? Do you think that was a little bit naive for people to think that way?
Well, I think that's always around, isn't it? I mean, that's the utopia that we want, isn't it?
We want to be Brazil.
Yeah, well, we want to win every week and we want to play champagne football every week. But the difference between, I suppose, sitting on this sofa and actually doing the job is that dilemma. You know, he's aware of that. He's aware that it would have been very easy for him to win plaudits by just doing that. And if they lost, everyone would have said, well done, that's exactly what we want to see. But actually, he did what a manager's supposed to do. And he did have a plan. He was criticised for not having a plan. He did have a plan. I think he misread the mood of the nation. I think that, you know, we do at some stage want our team to be a bit more courageous in possession. And I think that one of the problems that we've got in Ireland is that we follow trends instead of being trendsetters ourselves. I think our characteristics as a nation, the warrior gene that we've got, that gives us a big advantage. And if we can become more technical and more creative and blend that, and I think this fashion and fad for holding midfielders, I mean, listen, the midfielders I want in midfield are guys that can attack and defend. So it's not just about going gung-ho, it's about trying to be as attractive as possible, because common sense tells you that the more you have the ball, the more chance you've got of scoring goals and the more chance you've got of winning games. That's what we want as a nation. And I think what Noel King's done, it's a very difficult job to go to Germany, and I think that should be allowed for. But the one thing, when you talk to these players, they've really enjoyed the Noel King tenure, and that's a credit to him.
Yes, well, one way or another, we certainly wish the team the very best of luck tomorrow night, and let's hope that we can finish the Group C qualifiers with a victory. Okay.